So now we go to 8.3, which is 8.3 rectangular coordinate systems and paired data. Okay, now we have 8.3 section A, the Cartesian coordinate plane. Okay, now this line that's going vertical, this is called the y-axis. Everything on this line going up and down is called the y-axis. The line that's going horizontal is called the x-axis. Now typically it's just denoted by just having a y here and an x here. Okay, now this point here where the y-axis and x-axis meet, that is called the origin. Okay, now this graph here is broken up into quadrants. Okay, this is quadrant 1. This is quadrant 2. Now we scroll down here. This is quadrant 3. And finally, this is quadrant 4. Now there are some characteristics to these quadrants. Now first of all, everything is written as an ordered pair. Now, of course, all of you know your alphabet. So in knowing your alphabet, what would come first, X or Y? Of course, we know X comes first. So when we do our ordered pair, I'm going to write it up here. Every ordered pair has an X value first and a Y value second. So now, what I want to talk to you all about is the quadrants here. Now, the quadrants do not hit any of these lines here. It's all in these regions. In quadrant 1, your X value is positive and your Y value is positive. Quadrant 2, your X value is negative and your Y value is positive. Okay, quadrant 3, X is negative and Y is negative. Quadrant 4, X is positive and Y is negative. Now, one thing I want to tell you is this here. Let's start off with the x-axis. Now, with the x-axis, there are only 3 things that can happen with the x-axis. It's either, number 1, it goes to the right. Go to the right. Number 2, it could go to the left. And finally, number 3, it can stay. Now, let me tell you this. And of course, everything is done based upon the origin. So you start at the origin. If you go to the right of the origin on the x-axis, then your x value is positive. Now you may want to write that. If you go to the right of the origin, your x value is positive. If you go to the left of the origin, your x value is negative. Now, if you stay, like you do not move left or right, then your x value is 0. Now, you need to write that somewhere that this involves just your x value. Now, for your y value, there's 3 things that y does. It goes up, down, or stay. And this is based off the origin as well. If you go up on the y-axis from the origin, your y is positive. If you go down from the origin on your y value, your value is negative. And if you stay, then your y value is 0. So when we look here, this lets us know that we're going to go to the right on the x and up on y. Left on the x-axis, y, and then up on the y. Number 3, since both is negative, that means we go left on the x and down on y. And then here, since x is positive, we go right on the x-axis and down on y, which is negative. Now, class, we're going to finish up this section. We're on section B now, plotting points. Now, we have our ordered pair. Now, I told you before that x always goes first and y goes second. Now, we're going to get into graphing on this graph here. Okay, now, this is how graphing goes. You always start at the origin. The point where the x and y axis meet, that ordered pair, I'm going to write it back up here, even though we left this page here, where you have the word origin, the ordered pair for the origin is 0, 0. That is the point where the x and y axis meets. So we scroll down here. Let's go back to this page here. Now, when you graph any of these ordered pairs here, they're always in the parenthesis, x value first, y value is second. You always start by graphing the x value first. And wherever your y value leaves you, that's where you put the point at. So let's go with number 1. We start here at the origin, which is 0, 0, and x is 3, so we go to the right 3. Now, y is 5. So where x is 3 is, we will go up 5. Because remember, since y is positive 5, that means we go up. And we put our point right there. So that's number 1. Now, if you want to label this, you can label it based on this ordered pair, which would be 3, 5. You don't have to do that, but some cases we like to do that to signify what this means. So let's go back over that again. You start at the origin. Since 3 is positive and it's the x value, you go to the right 3. And then y is 5, so you go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you plot your point. And that's it for number 1. Now number 2, you go back to the origin. Now x is negative 5, so we go to the left 5. And y is negative 2. Let me scroll up a little bit here. Okay, we go to the left negative 5, or 5 places, and y is 2, so we go down 2. So this is our point here. So we can write that ordered pair. It'll be negative 5, comma, negative 2. Now we go here. We have positive 4 and negative 2. We start here at 0. We go back to our origin, which is 0, 0. We go to the right 4, because x is positive 4. And then since y is negative 2, we go down 2. So now you'll put 4, negative 2. Now, of course, this isn't coming out as pretty as I would like it, but you do get the point with this here. So let's finish this up. This is supposed to be 4, negative 2. 4, comma, negative 2. Okay, now we go to the next point. We have negative 1, 3. We start at our origin. We go to the left 1, and then we go up 3. So now, of course, this is supposed to be more of a shaded dot here. So now we have in parentheses, negative 1, 3. That is the point we just plotted. Okay, now we come to number 5. Now remember, I told you x either go left, right, or stay. Now when x is 0, that means it stays at the origin. But now we plot what y is. Y is negative 5. So we will go from the origin, we will go down 5 and plot our point. Now, so our ordered pair here would be 0, negative 5. Now we go to the next point. We got 6, 0. So we start from our origin. We go to the right 6. And since y is 0, we stay at the 6. So that is our point there. So we will have 6, 0. Now last but not least, we had negative 1 and negative 2.5. So first we go to the left 1, and then negative 2.5. That means we go down 2 and halfway in between 2 and 3. So this is our point here. We had negative 1, comma, negative 2.5. Okay, and this is how we plot those points. Now, of course, if you have any other questions, you can always ask in class. Thank you.